well, one of the things I think it was really important for other teachers when you're walking through this and you're not comfortable with coding, that you don't have to have all the answers, and it's okay to walk through these problems with the students together. And in fact, they'll start teaching you. And so I think like a lot of teachers may want to shy away from this because they don't have the knowledge, but it's something that like I learned how to do the basic thing, of course, before we delivered the lesson to the students, but some of the students were so adept, so when I sat and I watched them work and I watched them make some of the coding shorter and some of the short forms they used and that I didn't have knowledge of, right? But they did because they've been practicing this or knowing. That was that made it a little less threatening, right? To want to do this in the classroom, that you can walk through this with them, that you prepare your lesson, but then be prepared for the kids to wow you, and let that be okay. Like the kids knew that I wasn't this expert coder, that I was learning with them, that I just learned this program myself recently. That made them feel more confident to try, right? More willing for them to take the risk. And then the other thing that I thought was important, because I know when we when we first kind of got together, a lot of teachers with the pre-service students, they were planning one lesson like an event. And I didn't think that would be as valuable a learning experience than to figure out something that you can use to springboard off of. So the first thing that I did is I'm like, we're going to need 2 1-hour lessons for this, because this is heavy. They've never done it before. I'm still learning. And they were engaged in those 2 full 1 hours. So I think if you're planning like this next year, I think it's really valuable to start with a 1-hour lesson and then see a lot of it we left open-ended the second question, because we didn't know exactly where they were going to struggle, or were they going to fly through this, or what problems could we address. So because I made it a 2-part lesson, the next day when they came back, we were able to troubleshoot some of the things that were preventing them from going through the problems. And then I think having lots of questions for them to do, lots of things for them to do, because you don't want the ones that were bored, that were done earlier, to be bored. Give them similar challenges because they were excited. So we had a lot planned, and some of the kids just got through coding 1 or 2 questions and knowing what the syntax meant, and that was okay for them. And then some of them were actually improving the code, right? And that's great for them too. So I think that having at least 2 hours, or two lessons a day apart, I think that was very valuable, as opposed to just making it an event.